Welcome to BaseballGuys.com. I'm Ray Flowers. Thursday afternoon, not a lot of great, huge, exciting things happening in the world of baseball, but there is some information that I thought I'd touch on in the Around the Horn piece today here at BaseballGuys.com. First off, Fernando Tatis. Not a done deal yet, but at this point it appears that he's almost certain to sign a one-year contract with the Mets. In so doing, this obviously will mean the end of Carlos Delgado in New York. Wasn't a lot of hope for him to come back after that hip surgery anyway. Now it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. He will be gone. Tatis apparently sees some time in the outfield. He'll also split some time at first base with Daniel Murphy. People may not know this about Tatis, but the last 2 years since basically turning into Lazarus, completely resurrecting his baseball career, he's hit .289 with 19 homers and 95 RBIs and just over 600 bats the last 2 years. Not saying he can be a .290, 20 home run guy this year, but he's got a decent bat, could probably do a decent job filling a platoon role at first base. How much time we'll see there, how much time we'll see in the outfield, kind of up in the air at this point. Look for 250, 300 bats probably as the max from Tatis, as he's basically a stopgap, fix for 2010 for a Mets squad that needs some help anywhere with some healthy bats. Second player on the list, Eric Byrnes. Lots of hope here in the Bay Area where I'm from that he would return to the Bay Area. He grew up here. He was a Giants fan as a kid. Loves the Bay Area. Wanted to return to the Giants. Looked like the Giants could use a veteran presence in the lineup. When he was released by the Diamondbacks basically pick up pretty much all of his $10 to $11 million salary this year. His new team will only have to pick up the major league minimum. Apparently the Giants aren't interested. They want to go with the youth movement. They want to see what they have and see if they've got any potential growth there with the players they currently have. Too bad, because for all the problems with Eric Byrnes and for the overpayment that he received from the Diamondbacks, he's a hell of a guy. Captain America, as he's known when he plays in Latin America. Guy's a great influence, great hustler. He'll stick, find a spot someplace and stick with someone. Third on the list, Jim Edmonds. 40-year-old coming out of retirement. We've had a lot of guys, coming out of retirement. We've had, Paul LaDuca, some others that are looking to really return to the game and the greatness that they once had. Edmonds came out and said he wanted to play. Apparently, he negotiated with a couple teams. Found a home with the Milwaukee Brewers. He signed a one-year deal, $850,000 if he makes the big league roster. If he's not going to be on the big league roster, he can then, of course, be released at the start of the season. He's also got the opportunity to make $2 to $2.5 million in incentives, so he can make a little over $3 million if everything breaks right. A good signing for the Brewers. The last season, 2008, that he went to the Cubs, he actually was great with the Cubs. He had an OPS of over 930. He had 19 home runs and barely 250 at-bats. Remains to be seen what he has left at his age, and considering he didn't play last year. But if he's healthy, Edmonds still a pretty good outfielder and still got a lot of pop in that bat. Next player on the list we're going to talk about is Randy Winn. Randy Winn goes to the Yankees. Johnny Damon apparently not going back to the Yankees. We don't know where Johnny Damon's going at this point. There's been Reds, Tigers, Braves in the news. Teams are coming out saying they're not interested in Damon. Still not certain where he's going to go. It's looking more and more like he might actually return to Oakland on a $4 to $5 million one-year deal. But it looks like, pretty certain at least, he won't be going back to the Yankees. The Yankees signed Randy Winn to split time in the outfield with Brett Gardner. Winn was given $2 million on a one-year contract. Still plays very good defense. Last year his offense fell off precipitously at the plate, especially against left-handed pitching. So it remains to be seen if he's really an everyday player. If they use him more of a spot player and move him around the outfield where he can play all three positions very well. Great signing for the Yankees, especially at $2 million. Pedro Martinez wants to pitch in 2010. He'd like to pitch for the Phillies. Phillies would like to have him back. Unfortunately, Pedro wants $5+ million to pitch for the entire season. Phillies aren't at all convinced that his shoulder and body can handle 200 innings this year. They'd be interested in bringing him back on a lower level deal with incentives based on innings pitched. Use him very carefully, monitor his workload through the course of the year. If Pedro insists on making that big money, signing early and pitching an entire season, don't know if there's a right fit for him there in Philadelphia, despite how well he did last season with the club into the playoffs. And finally, Orlando Hudson still doesn't have a team. Reports that he wants $8 to $9 million. Been in deep negotiations with the Nationals. Nationals basically came out today and said, look, we're not paying anyone to play second base $9 million. If that's what you want, Mr. Hudson, we're going to move on. Orlando Cabrera has been mentioned. Adam Kennedy has been mentioned. At the same time, out of those three players, Hudson is the best player. He plays great gold-level caliber defense. He's the guy the Nationals really want. It's just a matter of the two sides agreeing to a contract. Both Kennedy and Cabrera would obviously be fallback options if they can't work something out. I'm Ray Flowers. This is BaseballGuys.com. Thanks for joining.